वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। Namaskar. So we are now beginning a workshop on the Devi, on the divine goddess. We will be looking at Sri Aurobindo's interpretation. Is anybody aware of Sri Aurobindo? Yes?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, I have visited their Pondicherry ashram.
Ji. And you've read some of his writings?
Yes, some of his writings, like though not in not in that great detail. Savitri, I
Ji.
have read.
Okay. Ji. And there's a very beautiful book written by Sri Aurobindo called The Mother, which
Yes,
we are going to, it is on the basis of that book only that we're going to be looking at the four powers of the mother. In our introductory session, we are just going to try to kind of get introduced with all of us and also at the same time try to form an understanding of who is the mother, what is our relation with the mother, and then probably we can look at the different aspects. If we see the word mother itself invokes certain emotions inside all of us, isn't it? Can just someone tell me something about what does the word mother connect with you?
Love, unconditional love.
Unconditional love, Shweta ji has said. That is what we call Matru Tattva only, isn't it? I cannot have it. If you see, even in the Bhagavad Gita workshop, when I take it, what is the example of Nishkam Karma Yoga? It is a raising of the child only, isn't it? My mother is not going to give me a bill for these many aloo parathas I have made for you. I expect you to return this. I expect you to. It is all about giving. So, yes, that is something. Unconditional love, that is one aspect. And what is our relation when we connect with the mother? Anybody would like to add something to what Shweta ji shared? Because we'll just share perspectives, then we enter
yeah.
into the. Yes,
Okay,
Mamta ji
she's
is saying
always
something.
very forgiving.
Forgiving. Okay. Shama is that is one of the we can say quality, isn't it? So
Yes.
somehow when we look at mother, we just remember some of the best qualities. One was unconditional love. One was forgiving. Okay. Then anybody else? Shobhaji is adding something.
Yes, she is the one who nurtures all the time. As long
Okay.
as you live, you'll find her only nurturing you.
So always like a grace flowing from her, which is always nourishing and raising us, isn't it? Yes. Yes. Anybody else would like to add to what Asha ji shared?
It's a sense of protection that we're always protected
Ah,
under her care.
yes. That is also a protection. The mother's protection, that is something which is even a small baby or child, first thing is will run behind to if there is something, if even a child who is just growing up, he or she sees somebody unknown or strange, the child quickly goes and hides behind the mother because there is a aspect of protection also. Yes, this is one more. Anybody else would like to add something before we move further?
A safe environment that whatever happens is always for the highest good.
The highest, sorry, ma'am, what is your
A
name, ma'am?
safe, uh, a safe environment that
A
whatever
safe
happens
environment.
is
Okay.
for the highest good.
For the highest good, for the greatest good. Yes. They say the Matu Paradaivatam. There is no higher God. Now, what is the difference between the mother and the divine mother? We see divine traits in our mother, yes. But is our mother only the divine mother, or there is a mother who is the mother of our mother also?
Yes, there is the universal mother.
The universe, Jagadamba, Jagat Janani, the one who is the mother of every living entity, a force of consciousness, isn't it? Which is nourishing, which is protecting. And but how do we see this mother?
In a spiritual context, we use the word divine. When we
Yes.
generally talk about mothers, We speak
Love.
it in a very normal, it's a love, we are very close to, you can touch, and that there's no distance like that we can see with the
Yes.
real mother. But when you use a divine mother, you automatically you take the spiritual context. That comes with the mind.
Yes. Yes, yes, isn't it? And that is the purest, the best of what we can say, whatever we can conceive to be the best, ultimate divine, that we attribute to the Divine Mother. And so, if you see, there are various forms of the Divine Mother. In Bharat, we are very lucky. We have a Kula Devi, we have a Grama Devi, we have so many, any place we see, we will see so many forms. So something about the various forms, if anybody can just share some form, which form you prefer or you connect to. That is one beauty of our Sanatana Dharma is that we have a very big menu card to choose from. We can choose the path, we can choose our Aradhya, we can choose which way we wish to travel. So if we relate to the mother as a form, which form of the mother do each of us, if at all, we have some bond? Anybody?
Kalima.
Okay, Ma Kali. Yes, that is one of the forces we will be looking at. Sri Aurobindo has specifically talked about four powers, and that one of that is the Mahakali roop or the form of Mahakali. Yes, Shwetaji is adding something? Yes, ma'am.
I see it as the mother of Pondicherry.
The
She
mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram, for you, she is the Divine Mother. And
beautiful.
yeah, there is one very interesting thing on very senior sadhak who had who had lived in Pondicherry, had done all the sadhana in Pondicherry, and had seen the mother. He came and he was asked, can you describe the mother? And how? How to describe and about her appearance? He said, the one who describes has not seen only. That is what his answer was. Because again, if you see, there's a perspective of, I remember my mother, when I was in school, my mother is, if somebody asked me, what's your mother doing? I said, my mother is my mother. I didn't know my mother was a doctor. In my kindergarten, when I was asked, what is your mother? "Oh, she's mother." And my mother was very happy with that response. When I came and told her, they asked me this question. She said, that is all my duty is. So that's no problem. So this aspect of the goddess we can see in different ways. As I think here Shwetaji says she sees the Divine Mother in the mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. Somebody is saying in Mahakali's Rupa. Now, just that reference of who was it who said Mahakali? Just one question I wanted to ask. Um, are you scared of Mahakali?
No, it was me who actually answered Makali,
Yes,
and
yes, ma'am.
the initial stages,
Yeah.
she looked very, very, very scary because
Okay.
I mean, it was with all of weapons and stuff. But this is a temple that I'm actually from the UK, and
Yeah. Okay.
about 6 hours away from me, there's a Makali temple,
Yeah.
which is very, very small and powerful.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I mean, the first time how I got over it was
Mm.
someone actually told me, say you're walking on a road and someone's trying to attack you with all the weapons. What would you do? You will just take a weapon and try and like um like protect yourself. And I mean, what I see is has all of the protections right in front of her. So anytime that she wants to use it, she can just use it without any
Okay.
like looking for the weapons or something. So that is why she has all of the equipments that she has ready for to protect her child.
Yes. So we shouldn't fear her weapons, Aarti ji.
Sorry.
Should we fear her weapons? There are so many
No,
weapons.
but we are
There
a
are
child.
skulls. There are heads also of asuras, isn't it?
Like we are a child. Would a mother ever harm a child?
Okay. So we cannot, unless we are the asura, we should not have the fear, isn't it?
Yes.
The heart
Yeah.
that is pure, the heart that is pure, the heart that seeks the mother, divine mother. There is no falsehood because the mother is the embodiment of truth, the highest truth. And anything that is opposing truth only has to be worried. Otherwise, mother is all loving. It's like you will only receive love, shelter, care, protection, all of it. And these, if you see, this is something very special. Why qualities? Why do we adore various, because a lot of stutis are there. If you see the Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi stuti also. Yoga Jay Yoga Sambhute, Mahalakshmi Namostute. The goddess who makes yoga possible, she is Mahalakshmi. The way of yoga, bringing of harmonies, she is this Devi. Namastuti, another Namaskar is for that goddess. Or if you look at the various other aspects, like Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sanstita, Shanti Rupena Sanstita, Daya Rupena Sanstita, Matru Rupena Sanstita. It is this Chetana or consciousness of the divine that is the divine mother, and that mother is available for everybody. Everybody, anywhere, wherever we are. Is there any mention of the mother in the Bhagavad Gita? The Matru Tattva force? Anybody who has studied the Gita? Bhagavad Gita is one Pramana Shastra of Bharat. Whichever part you want to study, Adhyatma, spirituality, you have to have some kind of connect with the Gita. Even Sri Aurobindo's Yoga says on the Gita, everything is the base for us to understand what is it. So, is there any mention of the mother in the Gita? One of the Pramana Shastras of Veda and Vedanta. Because if you understand the mother, you will understand Vedanta also, you will understand Veda also. Knowing the mother, you know everything. Vedayai, Veda Rupai, Vedantai Namo Namaha. That is how it is said of Mahasaraswati. She is the goddess who is the origin. She is the one who inspired Vyasa. If she has inspired Vyasa, why will she not inspire us as her children if we look at it? If we want strength for the mother, we invoke the power of the mother. How Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had invoked. Jagadamba, he would just call upon the strength, and then everybody felt that there was this legend that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj didn't have an ordinary sword. Anybody knows that? It was a miraculous sword given by the mother, is what people would say. Anybody knows, has heard of it? Bhavani's sword, that was the legend. And that was a strength. Jai Bhavani and then Jai Shivaji. All of his entire army would go and they would get that strength. And they were really, if you look at it, even in today's day and time, if you just look at the exploits, they are suprahuman exploits of seemingly ordinary people suddenly getting empowered and doing extraordinary things. So this aspect of Divine Mother as the provider, as the giver, it is something which is very much a part of our culture, our tradition, and is part of close to our heart also. The mother is always, where is the mother? The mother is in the heart. It is anywhere you can see. This is one important aspect we have to first recognize. Shervinda has talked about one very nice thing. When does the force of the grace of the divine or the mother flow? How will it come to us? Anybody? Say we want it.
When we surrender ourselves to the mother.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Nandriji says when we surrender or when we aspire, isn't it? When we aspire for it, when we seek it, when we humbly request, we bow and we ask for strength, and that is how it comes because that is the simplest relation. It is Mother, I do not know, guide me. You will get the guidance. Krishna also is like Matra Rupa also. People sometimes worship Krishna and Kali together. Krishna Kali also is a very powerful tantric force. They can't digest it also. But again, this aspect of surrender is important because without surrender, we cannot know. This is again the fundamental principle of the Bhagavad Gita also. This aspect of surrender. Without surrender, knowledge does not come. But then question of surrender, what is surrender? That comes into the mind. We've heard of surrender in the war zone. Somebody has recently, two countries were fighting for God knows what, signed treaties. Both are saying the other has surrendered. Is the surrender the same as the surrender to the divine?
In the mothers and Sri Aurobindo's yoga, surrender is surrender of all your thoughts, all your actions, all your emotions, your way of being, thinking, everything's. Everything, if you surrender to the mother, it's only then that you will get her grace. And
Yes,
she
and should
will,
we be conscious after the surrender or in the process of surrender? Because once
The
Sri had to make a
conscious,
distinction. Yes, please.
the
Yes, ma'am.
surrender has to be very, very conscious.
Okay.
And it has to be 100%. It has to be from the heart.
Ji.
You have to, and it has to be a conscious, continuous effort throughout the day. As many times as you can remember, you offer yourself to the mother and you surrender to her, and she will look after all your needs and she will care for you in the best way possible.
Yes, so wonderfully said. And this is again, very fundamental principle of the Gita also is this only. Why I am talking again and again about the Gita is because we'll just look at some of the aspects of, we can say, the Divine Mother being found as Prakriti is mentioned in the Gita, and that's a good base for us to before we start reading what Sri Aurobindo has described. He has actually described how the force of Mother consciously operates around us, how we can connect to her. It is actually a revelation for us. And we are so lucky that we have in our Bharat so many saints who have got darshanas, and after getting the darshanas, they have not kept it to themselves. They have shared it with the others, so others can also get a taste of that experience. And this is a tradition of Sanatana Dharma also from the beginning, from the Vedas also. We have so many devas, so many devis, all the rishis, rishikas, all of them, they codified that and shared it for the future so that people who seek can receive. And if you see the aspect, as I think Nandini Madam rightly said about surrender, it has to be perfect, it has to be pure, because without that we cannot receive anything. Even Bhagavad Gita did not begin without Arjuna's surrender to Krishna. And it took a long while for Arjuna to surrender in the Gita. If you look at it, it took a while. He just because he said once Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam did not mean that his surrender got activated. A lot of people say, I surrender to the Divine Mother and I go and do everything that I want to do without surrendering because it's not a lip service. And a lot of time when we surrendered completely everything, a lot of people started doing some weird things. And that's why Sherbindo had to give a rider in his correspondence. He had once said, I have asked them to surrender their mind, not their common sense, to the sadhaks. Because what is it? Well, surrender is again so simple. If you are true in your heart, you aspire and you surrender. You look at the Divine Mother and try to connect with her. If you recognize her operating principle, if you recognize the need that you need the force of the mother, you need the strength of the mother, you need the power of the mother, you need the direction, you need that. If we have that base, then we are ready to receive. Because if that is not ready, what as Shervindo calls it, the adhar, or the vessel is not, if the vessel is not empty, you cannot pour anything, isn't it? So this is one aspect before we just enter into what Shervindo has talked about, this Divine Mother's four powers. We will just look at some shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. We will look at, and it will be an interaction only. So you can always interrupt anytime, you can ask a question. But let us first try to establish a need. Why do we need to know what the mother is? How will it make a difference? We will see that later. But let us just first see this about there is this duality of life, the creative power and the executive power, which is there of consciousness only. And the Divine Mother is directly involved in the manifestation of things in this universe. The Purusha and the Prakriti, that duality is what is told in the Gita. We may call it the Shiva and the Shakti. It is, if you look at it in a very simple manner, maybe all of you would have seen those wildlife channels in the TV. There is a lion and there is a lioness. What does the lion do? Like the Purusha, lion sits and yawns, isn't it? It is the hunting responsibility, everything is given to the lioness, something like that. Prakriti is solely responsible. The Divine Mother is the operating fundamental principle of the divine, which is close to us. Shervindo will actually, when we look at these forces, he's given gradations, which powers of the mother are closer to us, how we can relate to, how we can evolve, and how we can become more conscious to all of them. And all are in tandem, working in tandem. It is not independent of the other. There's that division that we make that is of the mind, but it is not the same way. So let us look at in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about something very interesting, which is the Purusha and Prakriti. If you look at the 19th shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, I'll just quote a few. Then we just have a small discussion on the same. Then we are ready. Tomorrow onwards, we will look at the four powers one by one. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidya Nadi Ubhavapi Vikaransha Gunachaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakriti is the counterpart of the one being supernal. Like him, she too is immaculate and eternal. Within her only originate all of nature's qualities, but also arising from her are the many deformities. So, this world that we see, is it an ideal world? The world that we live in, there is what we call vikara, isn't it? Can somebody share some of the vikaras that we have seen in this world? What do you think so? Anyone? What are the vikaras? What are the distortions of that truth that we see? Anybody? Means the world has the goddess, the divine is present, but yet this world is not completely divine. At least as of now, we see a lot of undivine traits.
Yeah, there are those 6
Yes.
vikaras: kama, krodha, lobha,
Krodha, Mada,
moha,
Shadripus.
mada, matsarya,
Yes.
shadripus.
Yes. They are all present in this world, isn't it?
Yes.
So these vikaras are also present, if you see, and then Prakriti is working on these vikaras. Krishna in the Gita says that just like there is a Purusha supreme, there is another supreme Prakriti, the divine feminine. From her, all of the qualities of nature have originated, and also there are some of the deformities. Let us continue further. Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti Ruchyate Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktrutve Hetu Ruchyate. The domino of cause and effect is her procreation. The experiences of individual consciousness, her creation, and the one being supreme, the Purusha, does but enjoy, experiencing both pleasure and pain with joy. I'll just repeat it once more. The domino of cause and effect is her procreation. Karya Karana, this domino, the experiences of individual consciousness, her creation, and the one supreme being, the Purusha, does but enjoy, experiencing both pleasure and pain with joy. Meaning, the Purusha has created a system and has become aloof. He says, I shall remain in the highest consciousness of Ananda only and will not be touched. But Prakriti is the active principle of the Purusha that is operating and functional in the world. She is responsible for this domino of cause and effect, Karya and Karana, experiences of individual consciousness. This aspect of I am different. Who thinks like this? I am different.
Because we are individuals, we think like that. If we were the Purusha, we would not feel like that. We would not think
Okay.
that way. So,
Yes.
because we are created, many individuals have been created, and that is why we feel the individual self. And that
Yes.
is Prakriti in a larger
The
picture,
Prakriti.
if may say so.
Yes. So the Purusha is himself out, but the Prakriti is one of the reasons. She is actively working. Each of us has different natures, isn't it? I think if you look at our school teachers, if you remember fondly some of the nice teachers of our school, somebody was strict, somebody was a different, and someone was very soft spoken, somebody was very sharp, but no matter what, whichever way the nature was, they were still the teachers. And yet each had a different personality, and through that personality, they would operate. So, like that, we too have been provided with certain different individual traits. We can say by virtue of Prakriti, she has given us, the mother has given us, each of us is Swabhava. We will have to work through that. She is there to guide us, and ultimately, as in the Gita, it is about transcending the Swabhava and going closer to the divine. So, through our individual consciousness, we will try to attain to that universal consciousness of the divine. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः, or we say shanti rupena. So this sarvabhuteshu, the concept of sarvabhuteshu here is among all living beings. This is the goddess that is manifesting. How do I recognize her? I recognize her through some of the most purest and best qualities. How do we recognize Devi as Shakti Rupa? Anybody? Any example? Yes. Anybody?
The strength that we get while facing circumstances, or um, even the physical strength.
But why do we attribute it to the Devi? Can we not say it's my strength? I have done exercise, I have built up my muscles, I have got strength. Why do I attribute it to the Devi?
It's her grace that enables us, that powers us. So,
It is a grace of the divine, and the Shakti of the divine is something which is it is something which is a little uh, suprahuman. And suddenly, when an individual who is not capable suddenly starts doing certain things which the individual is not capable of in regular ways, that time you can see, yes, this is the movement of a force, this is the movement of the Shakti of the divine, and then you can go. Why is that shloka talking about Namastasya, Namastasya? It is teaching us to recognize the divinity in that force. A small child suddenly gets up and stands up against erring elders, and who has not having experience, that child is able to say, this is not right. You have to stand by this principle. Now that is Shakti, isn't it? That is a Shakti which is suddenly, it is a divine trait. So this goddess is manifest in this world as different qualities. And these are what we call different powers of the divine. Goddess, we may not be able to see. Some people get the darshanas, some people don't get the darshanas. But getting the darshana alone is not enough, isn't it? Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita also would have got over after the Vishwarupa darshana. Why would Krishna have even thought of teaching anything else? Interestingly, he teaches Bhakti Yoga after the darshana, because after the darshana, the real it is the real start of sadhana. After I have experienced, what do I do with this? What do I do with this knowledge of the divinity? So that divinity is something which is present. If you see, the goddess is present in this Bhuloka according to the Bhagavad Gita as Prakriti. She is working on level of individual consciousness. She is present and working on also what is the guna and also what is the vikara or the avaguna also. She is working and taking us ahead. Purusha is in a state of ananda only. It's like there everything is not going, nothing what individual experiences, they just merge into ananda. There's no ripple also in that consciousness. But here the goddess is there. Can we say that the goddess is, if she is experiencing with us, she is also feeling our pains. She is also working with us,
Yes, absolutely. She is
isn't it?
present in each one of us. So some aspect of her is within each one of us. So whatever we feel, the mother feels.
Yes, yes. And that is where the compassion of the mother comes, isn't it?
Yes.
And that is easiest to connect with somebody who is compassionate to us, isn't it? It is easiest to somebody who is close to us, who is experiencing it. And that is why the Devi is worshipped various forms. If we see, Sri Aurobindo has talked about four different forms. Has anybody aware of these particular forms that Sri Aurobindo has talked about? Yes, please.
The four forms of the mother, the
Mm.
Mahasaraswati, Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. These
Yes,
are the
yes.
four
See,
powers of
so
the
the
mother.
four powers of the mother, and that our entire workshop is going to be dedicated to these four powers that are very much connected to us. And how is the Maheshwari Rupa of the mother connected to us? The vast and silent Maheshwari's consciousness, when does it operate in our life? What about Mahakali's that Raudra Rupa force? Is that necessary? Sometimes people say, what is the need for all of this? Yeah, I am quiet, I am polite, I don't like anything else. I want to keep voice down. But sometimes voice has to be raised, isn't it? When injustice goes on. And that time, that aspect of Mahakali should operate. That principle should operate in us also. If we are children, we cannot imagine how many. This was very sad history of our Bharat in ancient India, at least long back when there were invasions. Some of the able-bodied men and women, instead of fighting for the truth, they just went and they said, "I'm not let the God do the work. I'm not going to do my. I'll just pray and I will not do the work." If the follower is there, follower has to have that ability to defend, isn't it? We should have the strength. We should have the strength to protect our ideals. We have to have that Shatra Bala. And there the Mahakali's role is required. Don't we have fights in our life? We're not talking about going around with a knife, and though that also happens unfortunately in the world today. But at least even say in a civil society, it is a little more protected or better developed. There, don't we have fights? What type of fights take place? Anybody? Or what are the fights that we need? And we need the divine. When do we need the divine for our fights? Is the big question. And what are the fights that we are fighting? Anybody?
Like in the Mahabharata, the fight was for the dharma and for the land.
Yes. Yes.
So we have to fight to uphold our dharma.
Yes.
And we should not allow the enemy just to conquer us and defeat us. That is, we are going against our dharma. So our dharma is to protect and
Yes.
to fight for the truth, for what is ideal, for what is real, for the divine forces. We have to fight. And for that,
Yes.
we can invoke the Mother's grace and ask her to give us the strength to fight the battles. And the Mahabharata is not only the outer aspect, but there is a Mahabharat going on in each one of us. And when we are fighting our own battles, every time we need to invoke her grace and her power and her protection to see us through whatever we are going through.
Yes. Absolutely. So wonderfully said by Nandini ji. Yes, ma'am. So it is the fight that we fight, a fight for the truth, fight for upholding the dharma, fight for upholding our ideals. I was previously living in another apartment system. There was this single mother. She was having trouble. Nobody was willing to stand up for her. That is injustice, isn't it? If it happens to Elsa just because it doesn't happen to me, can I ignore that? Can I say it's not directly affecting me? So then I did go and speak on her behalf. Then I was surrounded by all elders saying, "Are you not jobless? Don't you have anything better to do in life? Why are you sitting and creating trouble?" But it does not matter. That time it was important to stand. If you do not stand and let injustice go on somewhere, just because you are not directly involved, you are going to indirectly propagate injustice and that will come back to you. So we have to stand up. And for that, sometimes it might be just standing up to speak the truth. Sometimes it might be standing up to our principles. Sometimes it might be requiring us to muster the courage to do something which we feel we can do, or we are always in a state of perennial doubt that whether I can do it or I cannot do it. It is something like this where we have to fight and break certain barriers. There, Mahakali can be summoned. Mahakali's force can come and break all the barriers. In the Rig Veda also, it is like Saraswati's flow is considered as the flow of inspiration. But for that, the barriers have to be broken. The boulders for which block the flow of the river must be destroyed. That is important. So just we see as the vastness of Maheshwari, the strength of Mahakali. What about the goddess Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi?
Harmony and love.
Yes?
Harmony and love.
Yes. Shaivindo has talked about her as harmony, harmonizing. What is this harmony that do we need harmony? Where do we need it?
Within ourselves.
Within ourselves, wherever we go, everywhere, isn't it?
In the family, in the society, and I
The
think
family, in the
Lakshmi
society.
is the god
Yes.
of love and prosperity also.
Yes, Jay?
She's a god of prosperity because she gives
The
us
god of
wealth.
prosperity. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Prosperity. And what is prosperity? Prosperity is this flourishing of that harmony and growth, isn't it? How can you define prosperity in your room where you are in? The very room that you are in right now. How will you describe? Wall
We
must be
have
golden colored?
specific like to sit, maybe chair to sit or any something to sit. So light,
Yes. Yes,
fan.
light. Light,
There's
you
a
said. Light, some kind of the freshness. Okay, that is interesting. Yes. Mamtaji, somebody else would like to add?
The energy levels in the room.
Energy levels, the joy, or what we call Chaitanya, no? The a brightness, a consciousness. Say you're in a garden. What is prosperity in the garden?
flowers,
Abundance of
plants. Yeah,
flowers, isn't it?
abundance of yeah.
Yes, yes, and this is the symbol of goddess Lakshmi. You can, if you see your garden and you see there's not flowering at all, you can say, "Oops, Mahalakshmi ki upasana kam pad rahi hai here. That Chaitanya is missing here. I need to become conscious. I have to harmonize this place. Let the water fall in the right place." One person was asking me, "This tulsi is not growing in the house. What do I do? No matter what I do." Well, there is such disharmony there, and there is also no proper sunlight. There is no proper
Yeah,
nourishment. The
exactly.
soil is not right. And then, what is the if the harmony is not established, where will the growth take place? So, Mahalakshmi is required. Somebody was adding something, is it? I think I saw. Yes,
Nourishment, even your
nourishment.
for the body.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. So, this is one more aspect of Mahalakshmi.
So conducive environment to grow as
Yes,
you
a
did.
conducive atmosphere to grow. So this is just one. And the beautiful aspect, what Shirvindo has done is he has actually told and given us the way of, it's like a blueprint of the Devas only, how they function, how these Devis function, how does Mahakali function, how does Mahalakshmi function, how does Maheshwari function. And there is the fourth power. Shirvindo called her the youngest of the four. Yes.
Mahasaraswati.
Yes, this is Mahasaraswati, Devi. This is the goddess of knowledge, goddess of learning, goddess of wisdom. And Mahasaraswati is considered closest to all of us. He is the one, probably we'll start first with Mahasaraswati's description only when we begin our session tomorrow. So, this Mahasaraswati also is the goddess of learning, and she is the one who is, granting us wisdom, granting us knowledge. But my question is, who can receive knowledge?
Of
Everyone.
course,
Somebody who's open and ready.
Okay, Nandini ji says, yes, ma'am. Somebody who is open and ready. Okay.
Open and ready to
Okay,
receive.
Aarti ji, you were saying something?
I mean, everyone, like even if you take a child, even they are
Yeah.
learning every day. Like everyone's learning. I mean, if they know it or not, but everyone will be progressing towards the right thing.
Okay. So, but Aarti ji, if I think I already know a lot, can I know more?
No one knows everything in the world.
Yes, but the attitude makes a full difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vidya vinayena shobhate or Vidya dadati vinayam, whichever way you look at it. If you see, first aspect of to know is first recognize I do not know. And when we have that, then it is like how Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. He says, I shall give the knowledge. He says, I shall give the knowledge, I shall give the wisdom. But who can he give it to? Who does not have it, isn't it? Who already thinks I am too smart, I already know so much. Then, so this aspect of Maha Saraswati, how you can receive her wisdom, her powers, her strength, it is again in humility. And she works from what we call imperfection to perfection. She takes, she's like continuously working, and she is the one who is having to deal with the entire mass of imperfection of humanity. She's
And she's the
constantly at,
most patient,
yes,
patient
yes,
to
yes,
all
yes,
our imperfections. She's so
absolutely,
laborious, so minute in her all her
yes,
details. And
Yes.
she's not one to give up easily. She will keep
Yes.
at it till you get
Absolutely.
it. So she is
Yes.
relentless in her
Yes. Yes.
compassion towards
Absolutely. That
humanity.
is exactly. Yes. Yes. Ji. Exactly. This is what Shervindu has talked about it. And if we see these, just looking at these four powers, these four powers can have several other power manifestations. Means, but if we just understand this principal four powers of operation of the Devi, it will allow us to first make ourselves receptive to the power of the Devi, to the functioning of it, and then maybe our sadhana also will get that impetus and grace. So this is one of the main aspects of what are the powers. Now my question is, what will we do? Why do we need those powers if we can just think of some reason? Like now we are going to be studying we'll be looking at Mahalakshmi's powers, Mahakali's powers, Maheshwari's powers, Mahasaraswati's powers. The question is, what do we gain in studying it? Because over a period of some, say, 10 days, 11 days, we'll complete it. But what can we keep as an aspiration, as a joint aspiration when we study this? What do you think we can have? What do you think what will, at least individual level, we can just say, what difference will it make if I meditate upon? Yes, Shweta ji. Yes, ma'am.
For me, it's the delight,
Okay. The delight of understanding the mother's, how she is operating.
the harmony that I feel. It goes, and then when I aspire, it's again there. So, yeah, it's the joy of the truth that I understand and I'm able to separate from the falsehood. So that is the delight. Yeah.
Okay, so you would like to imbibe that into your life, is it to separate this what is false and what is true. And okay, that is one nice aspiration Shweta Maji has given to us. Yes, please, Nandini ji. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am.
For me, it is doing the sadhana, being
Okay.
conscious of the mother and her force working in me. So the more I'm conscious, the more I can feel her using me as an instrument, making me grow and be a better person, making me grow in the sadhana. So it's that connection that I wish to, that bond that I want to deepen with a mother, using all
Yes.
her
So
aspects, like having beauty and harmony, having surrender, having knowledge, but having also the humility and knowing that it is she who is doing everything for us. And we are actually nothing. Without the divine, without the mother, we are nothing. We are powerless. We have nothing. We don't exist only. It's because of her grace that we exist. So I want that bond and that connection to grow deeper and stronger in the next few
Ji,
days that we will be
ji.
together.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nandini ji. It's very rare actually when we start a workshop on the initial day, we get the conclusion only. What is it that we have to, what is it that we will, it's like even in the, if say Krishna had 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita and then gave the final conclusion. But here we have already found something very interesting what Shwetaji has said and Nandini ji has said. It is something which we have to imbibe to become, we have to become the instruments of the mother. Okay, that is one thing. Anybody else would like to add some other aspects for us to look at?
We will also be able to connect to the qualities of the four Devis in ourselves.
In ourselves. How, Aditi ji, if you can just a little bit, means how will you look at in yourself, the four qualities? Meaning, just randomly. Yes, please.
Yeah, like suppose if we want to connect with, say, Ma Lakshmi's quality of happiness or, content,
Prosperity.
prosperity, then we have to bring harmony in ourselves. So it is, if we bring harmony, only then we can get all
You
those
can understand that.
manifestations of, yeah.
Yes. It's the how we are. We have to manifest the beauty in our lives, isn't it? A beautiful mind, a beautiful body, a beautiful thoughts and deeds and actions
And it
that
is
will
not,
automatically. Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
and it is not that if we get something externally, if we'll get money, then we'll be
Yeah.
prosperous. We'll understand that it is the inner harmony that will get us
Yes.
prosperity. So
Yes.
that
Yes.
example.
But then, if we do this upasana of inner harmony, will we not receive outer money anytime?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying that the cause and effect is like that. Like,
Karya
we
Karya,
have
isn't
to
it?
internally,
Okay.
if we are,
Yeah.
if we want external things, then even if
Mhm.
we don't want whatever, but internally we have to we
Okay.
should be vibing those.
Okay, so we should imbibe it. Maybe if the Devi decides, if she manifests, we like how Sudama was, isn't it? With the grace wishes, I will receive it. And Shervinda had very beautifully talked about in this hymn to Durga also about how goddess we come birth after birth to serve you. This birth too, we are doing this work, we are performing your bidding. Whatever you give, we will take and we will come back. This our home is in your bosom only. It is in your grace, in your shelter that we will receive whatever we have to. And this is very true. And this is something which is the goddess does take care. I do not want to say exactly this is what happened, but it's my belief. I do not think it is exactly experience, but something very sweet is we faced a very difficult time in our manufacturing unit sometime because of the war and other things. And we were really not sure and what's going to happen because when we are dependent on a foreign country to purchase from us the products that we make, we didn't know what's going to happen. And at that time, we had a small meeting of the few people who work. We decided, see, Goddess Lakshmi, if we, she will be happy if we are doing all our works right. Let us now forget it. Let us imagine we'll never get another order, but let us keep everything spick and span. Let us focus even all the more on our cleaning. Let us keep all the actions and we'll not worry about it. And we had made a rule also not to pray specifically for something because very little, it is little, it's bad, isn't it? We can't exploit our uh, force of goddess also, isn't it? We shouldn't. A lot of people say, like, I remember one Vedic Pandit, a Vedic scholar, came and told that, oh, you have a Kadamba tree here. Go and chant this particular mantra for this many times, you will receive this much wealth. It felt so bad. Is that I am going to utilize this? This tree is itself very special. Let the goddess give. I'm not trying to say that that is wrong, but we can say better than sakam is always nishkam with desires. Some people use force of the goddess. I use the force of the goddess to cause harm to somebody else. Now, what a limited mindset that is. So, if we broaden our consciousness, we like as Aditi ji said so nicely, I have to imbibe all four. Let my consciousness not be so limited. The whatever aspect of tantra is there, the goddess is the most powerful one. Let her take care. Let her raise my consciousness as she wants to. She let her give her kavach. Why should I use to exploit the force? This is not required at all. Let me get that vastness of Maheshwari's peace and quiet. I shall be protected by her. That is one wonderful freedom that we get when we are free from our own bondages. So that is one nice thing that we invoke the divine. But my simple question still remains: what about those individuals who invoke the force with particular direct results? For I want these results only, what we call sakam prarthana or some kind of prarthanas which are binding a person. I remember I met one person in Thane. He said somebody has done some kind of karani on me, and that's why I'm failing. Somebody has invoked some goddess and put something on me. That is why I'm not. How does that sound? Is my question. Is that something?
Yeah, okay. In my view, Sakam Prarthana is not always bad. See, all of
Okay.
us have, internal struggles, external
Okay.
struggles.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So suppose, I don't have the courage to do something. Okay.
Okay.
So if I pray to, Kali, Mahakali, okay, for courage, so that is Sakam. But is it
Okay.
bad? It's
Ha.
not bad. Okay. So when I think when we uh, do something keeping, with some evil intention, then that is
Intentions, context matters, isn't it?
yes, yes.
And if you see, this is very interesting that as a child, we can ask our mother, isn't it? If the child doesn't ask, who is going to ask? But we have, I think many of our participants have been mothers, so they have seen their children. They ask for lollipop. Do you always give the lollipop? The child had asked. If the and I think some experiences would have come when too much cut is going on. The child is continuously crying and asking, "I want, I want, I want it." Sometimes out of irritation, you have given it. Okay, at least the siren will stop right now if this is given. And but that is not really the ideal way, isn't it? That is not something you have enjoyed. Same way, if we can ask pray from to our mother, we can always ask, which is not. But let us not conditionally bind. This aspect of binding, and as Mamtaji rightly said, intentions matter. What is the intention? If somebody is having an intention of utilizing the force, this is basically sometimes the misuse of Tantra, isn't it? The misuse of Tantra is done, but it also backfires equally very badly when it is done with, as in, if the Divine Mother will not understand. Can the Divine Mother not understand wrong intentions? If you utilize with certain nefarious plans, those will not succeed. And the protection of the Divine Mother is always there for every seeker who seeks her shelter. Whatever harm, no harm can come on somebody who has taken the shelter of the Divine Mother. So, this is very important why we approach, because sometimes one person I remember telling inside of me, the Ma Kali has come, is what this individual shared to me. My question was, how is the body still functioning? The entire force of the divine, maybe the rupa, some force, some experience. So it is important that we do not lose touch with the highest truth in our aspiration. We can, if you see, we have to have certain aspirations, but we shouldn't have desires. There's a big difference between aspiration and desire. Can someone just highlight that? We'll just look at that and then next session we will begin. Yes, please.
Uh, I feel probably with my desires, I know because I'll feel disappointed if they don't come true. But with my aspirations, I only feel motivated to, dust myself and move forward again. So that is how.
So aspiration is always going to move, is like a fire that is taking us up and higher all the time. Desires are, it's like a transactional many times. And when they never get fulfilled, and it is like it's more of an inferno which is continuously burning and not satisfied and cannot be quenched at all. So the goddesses we should connect not for our desires, but for our aspirations. And one of the best aspiration is to serve the divine. Hey mother, use me as an instrument for your functioning, for your manifestation of truth. Nothing more, nothing less. Just utilize that, whatever you give us. And because some of the very nicest and most powerful tantric prayers are Dhanyosmi. Thank you. Thank you is a very powerful prayer. It creates a great change of consciousness inside of the individual. It brings trupti, it brings ananda. It also gives you a kavach of the goddess also directly. And just thank you for all these moments that I have got. They have come directly from you. And just experience, you see, even the worst moment of your life will suddenly you will feel the protection of the divine in those moments. And the experiences are to be got. We have to, one of the aspirations we will have in this, not just this workshop will get over, but our life goes on. Our aspiration will be that let me get the experience of the Divine Mother. Let my sadhana go on, but I want to experience her presence. And that's a lovely aspiration that we should definitely seek and try to have. There's something called Shreyas in the Upanishads, and there's something called Prayas. And we have to figure out it is like milk and water. What is necessary? Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna was always after the Shreyas only. What is right? What is good? What is needed for my forward movement? Yat Shreya Syana Nishchitam Bruhi Tanme. Tell me, Krishna, what is Shreyas for me? Or even in the Upanishad, the Kathopanishad, the young Nachiketa says, bribed by Yama, because Nachiketas has got the highest aspiration. He has the highest aspiration of realizing the supreme truth, which is imperishable, the supreme truth of immortality. He says, Yama, even in heavens, people don't know this truth. I want to receive that truth. He says, you are not functional. Your death cannot touch anybody in the heavens. So I want that knowledge, but I still want something higher, that knowledge which even the gods don't know. Give me that. To that, Yama then says here, he says, no, no, leave that. I shall give you something better. I shall give you extremely long life. I shall give you lovely wives, plural to him. I shall give you so much property. I shall give you 10 generations after you will have full lifespan. Such name, such land, which nobody will imagine that much wealth. All of that was being offered to him. But just leave that truth. And that young Nachiketas says, okay, you give all of that to me. What is going to happen ultimately? You will come with your buffalo and you take everything away. It's all going to perish. I want that highest truth. So this is why if we have a sakam prarthana at all, if at all we have a sakam prarthana, let it be with the right aspiration. Then it's no problem. Because even that is a simple principle of even our Shastras. If you see, there's a Rudram and there's a Chamakam. In that Chamakam, it is just, if somebody looks at it from a different perspective, it looks like, what is this thing? What is this yogi or rishi? He is only full of desires, but no, it's not that. Shancha me, mayascha me, priyancha me, nu kamascha me, somanasascha me, bhadrascha me, shreyascha me, yashascha me, pagascha me. So many things. He says, I want all of this. But why? To serve you, to serve the divine. This is not something which is for me only. So whatever is needed. I think with this approach, if we are to look at the four powers of the mother, we might be able to understand better, and we will have our interactions in the session also. So as we study these powers of the mother, we will understand better. At the end of the session, I'll ask our admin Chitraji to share the book of Sri Aurobindo. It's available freely. Sri Aurobindo's ashram, the ashram has made it available online as a PDF copy. You can look at that. And what we are going to be looking at is poetry inspired from that book on the four goddesses, the Mahasaraswati's powers in poetry of rhymes. Same for Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, and Maheshwari. But the reference is the same book, which will be shared after our session today. So, with this, I think today's session we can call it complete. If anybody wishes to ask or share something, you are most welcome. Otherwise, we just conclude. Yes, please. And every day it will be on weekdays, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 9:30. And this is organized with the Midam Foundation, an NGO based in Pondicherry. You can find more information about Midam in this website, www.midamashram.org. So, with this, I can conclude. If anybody has any questions or any insights or any feedback. Yes, Payalji, yes, ma'am.
I have one question, please.
Okay.
These tantric kriyas, they invoke Devi. So
Yeah.
we say that Devi is like protecting us. So, but the effect of that tantra kriya goes on people, even innocent people, like those people who do these tantric kriya want to harm that particular person or what. So
Yeah.
why so? Like that is,
Why so, in a sense, why are the people doing that? Or
yes. Why Devi has when Devi is invoked? So why Devi is not protecting the
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The one question, though, Payalji, is how are you sure that Devi is not protecting?
Devi is
Because
protecting.
I know personally somebody who has had invoked something. Maybe I slipped and fell, but I did not have the big fall. It is like I can just tell you that when you are sincerely surrendered to the divine, even the slightest harm cannot come, no matter how great a tantric is. No astrologer, no kind of tantravadi also can really cause a harm, because they say no, jako rakhe saya maar sake na koi, the one who is protected by the divine. But if that protection is weak for some reason, if because of my nature, then this may have some chance. But otherwise, it will not have an effect. If you since you will not even know what is happening, like it will be somebody else who is doing. It's like somebody is going to throw a ball and there's going to be a wall. The ball will just bounce back to the same individual. You will not even know. You will. That is the power of the kavach of the Devi. As far as why do people do it, it is just like you have electricity. Electricity can be used for good, and somebody is misusing the same power. But like we have now electricity, there are people who do this. What in the village we call it quick. Tar laga ke they take the connection. They're not going to do it all the time, isn't it? They'll get caught or not. They are misusing it. So it is against the law of truth. So anybody goes against the law of truth is going to be consumed by that falsehood and ignorance. The fall happens sooner or later. They will look at the forces of, because Mahakali hates this misuse, distortion of the power, and the wrath of Mahakali is unbelievable. So those wrongdoers do face consequences. The karma bandhanas are there, but if at all we are getting like um, because when you are doing something good, no, you will always have people who are opposing you. That's a truth. They say nobody kicks a dead dog. It's something like that. You're doing something right, you will have opposition. You will have a lot of opposition. But at that time, you have to be alert, because and it is just not just mind state, it is your consciousness state, because then there's no amount of nazar or anything that will work on you at all. You just connect with the divine, her protection is there. Protected by the mother, nothing will happen. That is a truth. Yes, Ji.
Yes, thank
All
you
right.
so
Okay. Thank you, Ji. And we'll just conclude with the final mantra. Mamba Lalita Devi Jagadambe Janani Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha Mamba Lalita Devi Brahmananda Sagari Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha Sarvamangalamangalye Shive Sarvarthasadhike Sharanye Triambake Devi Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Punarmalama, we see tomorrow then. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Hari Om.
Um,
Hari Om.
Hari
Namaskar.
Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari
Thank
Om.
you.
Hari Om.